Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, a big warm welcome. I'm glad you're joining us for this little mini series. Well, we're on part 3 today. We've made our file folder folio and now we want to do a little mini journal, notebook, whatever you want to call it, to go in this pocket. Now, on the last video, it messed up. Hang on, I was just moving a bit of fluff that I didn't like the look of. And I lost a few sections, the end sections to my video, where we did this closure and we decorated and that. Well, I've got another one here in a different style, and I've had to stick that over it because it's personalised. This is a gift. And remember the one that I cut out first of all, and then I said, oh, I wanted them, these were flaps, and I wanted them as pockets. Sorry, that bit's personalised as well. I wanted these as pockets, and I didn't have this bit up here. So all the leftover bits I used to make little spines, like 1/4 of an inch, for them flaps to turn them into pockets. And look, you can see a little notebook journal fits nicely into there. So, and I added this from an offcut, and as you can see, there's a little pocket there. This is the same as on our one, with the pockets here, and the double pockets on like there and there, and we've got that on our boho one that we're doing. What I wanted to do though, just because I lost it on the other one, is make this closure. So I'm going to do that before we crack on and do our little mini journals. So I'm going to go there. No, I need to come in a bit. Right, there, and there. And then, yeah, I'm just keeping that bit covered. We've got a pocket there. I've done it all the same, because even on this one, when we did that pocket, that was a mistake, wasn't it, if you remember? But I really liked how it looked, so I did it on this one. And it ain't a mistake, it's totally on purpose, because this paper don't matter what way up you have it. So I'm just grabbing my scissors. I just wanted to get rid of that little excess bit of paper, and it weren't moving. Right, and a couple of little eyelets, and we'll just get these set. So I hope you're all well and staying safe and staying upbeat during these crazy times. I know from personal experience of suffering with anxiety and depression on and off for years, that things like this, well, there's never been a thing like this in our lifetime. And if I didn't have family around me, and I didn't have my YouTube channel, the friends I've made through this channel, and like just art and craft to do, like to keep me busy. If I didn't have this in my life, I would be really struggling right now. I know I would. So as you can see, I made them 2 eyelets, and I've just frazzled our sari silk through, and I'm just going to pull it through itself, because then once that's done, that little loop there is then our closure, you see. So I really like how that looks with that kind of closure, and it's so simple, isn't it? So that one's done. I can pop her to the side, and as you can see, you can also just wrap it round if that's what you want to do, you know, or you can cut them off shorter and have a bow. It really is whatever you prefer. Now, I've done a couple already, hang on, of these little notebooks, because I thought while I was on a roll making that one, I'd do a few more. And these 2 have just got 10 sheets of paper, which give you 40 book pages, you know, if you count in front and back. So that's not bad for a little tiny book this thin and that. And obviously we can bulk them out and as you can see, they fit really easily into our little 1/4" pocket. Well, these two do. Right. But they're not our ones because I'm doing ours on camera, aren't I? So here's one with just scrapbook paper, and I've sorted out my pages. I've got 12 in here, so 4 times 12, I'm not sure, 12 and 12, 24, 48 pages this will be. And I thought if I stitch like that and then I can close the envelope afterwards, and that would be a nice little centre signature. So I've got it in scrapbook paper, and in this one I've already prepared the pages. So I've stenciled on a couple of them, or have I? Did I? Yeah, I've stenciled on 1 or 2 of them, and I've folded them and that. So that one's ready, but I have got another one that isn't ready because I wanted to do everything for a small little journal on camera from start to finish. So for this other one, I don't know if this is even going to fit inside. This one definitely will because it's scrapbook paper, but I found I had some of the fabric paper that I made before, and I will link the video of how to make the fabric paper down below. Or if you want to watch someone else do it, Gail Agostinelli is where I learnt. So huge thank yous to Gail, because since I learnt how to do this, I use it loads. Sorry, I was just moving the little balls a bit. I'm seeing if this will fit. Well, it fits with nothing in it, just. So I don't know if this one will be what we're using here. But we're going to sew both of these together anyway. It's just that I haven't prepared any of these pages for this cover. But yeah, if I didn't have these baubles on, that would probably have gone in there. But yeah, this was a bit that was left over one time, and so I decorated it while I was doing the other pieces that I was going to use, and I put it away thinking that'll come in handy, I'll use that at some stage, and I forgot I had it until now. So I want to use it, but I don't know whether it will fit in there with the pages in. Anywho, we will get round to that when we get around to it. At first we need to prepare our pages. So I've got some stencils at the ready, and I'll just grab me inks. I've already got some of my little dib dabs just there. I'll grab the inks and we're good to go. Right, I've surrounded myself with inks and that, just so that it's all handy. And I need my dobbers all about. Right. Oh, where's the one? I was using one for doing some gold with. It was the other side of one that I'd used for something else. Right, I'm just going to balance these. Very dodgily, but now I know I've got everything. No, it isn't. Might have been that side. I would use this gold one and it come out really good. I'll just use the end of this, and well, I better get a stencil in place. I'm going to do a gold strip up there. Oops. Because everything like this we want done before we sew our pages together, because then otherwise it's all too awkward. So I like that. And that one can go away. That's the gold over and done with. Oh, I need my pages. Oh, they're under here somewhere. Oh, I've put them over here. Right. So that one's done. And that looks wonky, that bit. So I'm just gonna slice that again, because that is definitely on the wonk. That is much more like it. So that one. And then maybe a bit on here or something. Right, I need to give myself a little bit more space because I've surrounded myself with everything that I thought I'm going to need. And it's crazy. Right, so from starting from here, going over there, I want to start with really light milled lavender, and that is so light, like you barely see it, but I do like it when they all blend in. It does end up looking rather nice. So, like I said, I hope everyone's doing well. It's really mad and crazy times right now, but it is really nice to hear from you and hear like how you're coping or what you're doing and that, because I think we all need each other at the moment, more than we ever knew and more than we're probably admitting, you know. Like, we do need each other right now because it's really difficult, and I'm finding it hard missing some of my loved ones, but I'm lucky enough to have family with me, you know, and I'm still missing the ones that ain't, but some people haven't even got that, and I really do feel for you if that is your situation, which is why I think we do need to be here for one another, to make sure, check in with the people you love, make sure they're okay, like even just a phone call, or if you've got it, like FaceTime or WhatsApp video calls. They've been my lifesaver, to tell you the truth, because I think I would feel a lot more low if I didn't have a way of talking to my grandkids and my daughter that ain't here with me, because yeah, that is really hard, isn't it, when you're separated. So I really like that. That looks fabulous. Right, I'm not going to do stuff on every page, and I'm going to be very careful. I'm just grabbing a wet wipe so that I don't get marks on other stuff, and I don't know why I haven't put my glass tray there that I normally work on, but I suppose that's because I don't know where it is, and I normally know where it is. It's just so frustrating that I can't have everything laid out how I used to. Right, that one's quite plain. We'll do something on there. Oh, and wouldn't you believe it, the one I wanted went flying, so I've had to get up and move. Right, I'm going to sit that right on there like that, and start with this dark blue, and then just fan it out a bit, and then the lighter blue, just trying to blend them colours, right. And that green, the tricky bit is holding it still for me. I always find that a bit of a struggle, and often don't manage to achieve it. I end up moving it, and then it's the struggle of placing it exactly back where you just had it. But I do like this effect. It just means, yeah, that I've got to really grip onto it for dear life. Right. Oh. Sorry, I'm moving the hand a bit because I just, like I said, I'm gripping on for dear life. Where's my orange? Yeah. Oh, let's see, that did move, unfortunately. Right. And at the very edges, I'm going to try and get some red in there. Try and blend that a little bit. Right. And that, oh, I love it, it's fabulous. Right. And yeah, like I said, we don't want to do stuff on every single page. So maybe one more, because like I said, I've only got 12 pages. So one more of something lovely. And let's go through. Because I do want to leave places to write and that for whoever it is who this ends up with. This one is very plain, so I'm going to go right across the middle, I think, with this one, and again blending. So I'm going to start with my very pink. This is picked raspberry. It's gorgeous. Right. And then right, darker pink, seedless preserve there. Right. And then I think going into, where is it? Yeah, this lilac. Put that through. Right, but then I'm going to go into blue from the lilac. Right, and then the very dark blue. Oh, I've dubbed it in the wrong thing. See, that is always the trouble when you're using so many. Sometimes you dob in the wrong thing or put it in the wrong place. Guess what I've done earlier? I was working on something else and I've just got a can of drink out of the fridge and I put it on the table and it was next to this, and it was one of them skinny cans, like an energy drink can, roughly the same size. I thought I picked up the glue and I picked up the full can of energy drink and sprayed it all over the place. Oh, and look, that is exactly what I didn't want to happen, but luckily this is quite a big bit of paper. So let's, quick as we can, get some bits out of the way. And I'm going to cut that top bit off because I really like how that's come out. But yeah, obviously that is what you want to avoid, like when you're using a stencil. I clearly went over the edge, I wasn't paying attention, but it don't matter because how lovely is that? Now it's all shaded and going all through. Right, I'm going to get rid of this lot and then we can crack on. Right, so I'm grabbing all our other papers back and another journal that's ready to do stuff with. So, oh, and we've got another page. So now I want to sort out how I want them. So, right. I know I want that as my centre. And I'm just working out, roughly, what I'm going to have where. That's 2 bits of paper. I only want one. And then that one. Maybe that one. Oh, and I forgot, I've got all these stenciled ones. So I don't want them all next to one another. So I'm going to spread them out too. One like that. And I'm not lining them up or nothing yet because we've got to fold them all now. As you can see, these ones have got a decent crease in and I'm holding them in place. We're going to do the same with these now. So we know we want this as our centre. Well, they're all in order now. How they are now is how they're going to be sewn in the book. If you wanted your pages to have any stamping, sewing, that kind of thing, do that now before you stitch them in, because then it's really much harder when you haven't done it first. But you can always stick on your trims and that, which if I want any on here, that's what I will do. But seeing as it's going into a little folio, and the folio is only small, it I probably won't have trims on the pages. I might include something in the pockets, maybe some trim on like a little thing like this that the recipient can attach themselves where they want it, if they want it. So yeah, I might do that. And you notice I didn't crease that one, but it's because it was out of a book and it's already got quite a decent crease in it, because it's come out of a book, and so it's also got the holes there, but I'm not going to use them holes because they're not where I want them. And I will go through these again. I'm just putting them together as I go along so that they stay in the order that I've just sorted them into. But I will make sure they're all in their positions that I want them to be in, and that they're the right way up, if they've got a way up to them, like the words on that dictionary page. So it's all like, this bit takes a bit of time, you know, especially when you're doing a full-size journal, because I sit and do this to every single page. And so, well, everyone does who makes books, you have to, but well, I think everyone else does. It is a little bit time consuming. Like, obviously the fun bits are the things like all the decoration and that, but if you want to make a book, you do have to spend a little bit of time. And obviously this is a tiny book, a notebook really, or mini journal, because it's only going to have, what did I say, 48 pages and one signature, and it is dinky because it's got to go into a thing. Right, so now I'm just positioning my bits of paper where I want them to be. So that I don't end up with ones up here and that, like, I'm just lining them up where I want them. That one. Right, I'm taking these out a bit because they're pulling them in a direction that I don't want them to be. That one. And I think I want that way round. Right, and I'm just gonna double check, where's my dictionary page? Yeah, it's up that way. Right, so now what I do, got this cheapy plastic ruler, and I just hold my pages and just tap them down to make sure that they're nice and down. And I know a lot of you know all this, you ain't got to watch this video, this part 3, but some people might just be thinking of doing their first journal or something, and this is a nice easy way of sort of dipping your toe in, really, I guess. That's all I did at first. Right, so I'm going to undo that again, and then bang them down. Right. And they're in place as well, along with these. So now I'll show you how I make my holes. So I've got a mini sort of phone book thing. A great big size one would be brilliant. A book cradle would be even better. But I ain't got neither of them. I've got this. Jamie got it for me from Tool Station, because he does like a power tool. I've never known someone apart from, well, my dad. My dad was exactly like that. Right, so I just get a nice bit, push my book into that crease so it holds it still. Now, if I was doing multiple signatures, I mark them out on a bit of graph paper and I position that and everything, but I ain't. We're just doing one. So you ain't got to measure it up against anything else. Right, remembering to open my envelope, because I want that closable and openable. Right, and I'm going to put a hole there, hole near to the top, but not, because my pages ain't as big as, I'm going to go there. And yeah, really you measure all this out, but it's one signature, there's no point. So now I've got 3 holes. So we're just going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and we've just got our 3 holes going through. Right. And so now we've got those holes along there. And so I'm going to do the same thing, push it right down. I'll open my envelope again. And right, yeah, I want one there. There. About there. Right, and so then once that's done, we've used that. But yeah, if you're doing more than one, use a bit of graph paper to plot. So you want it as wide as your spine, and then you plot, depending on how many signatures, your rows like with dots, and then that, like, you use that to know where they're going to be, and get another piece, line it up with your dots, mark, then put holes in it, and then you use that for every single, what's it called, signature. And say this was it, right, I clip it in and push it down every single time, lined up to the same point on each signature, so that I know them holes are in that exact same place over and over again. So yeah, once it's done, I'm just making the holes a bit better so you can see, but them holes would be plenty big enough really. And you don't need a lot of cotton at all. Right, this is waxed linen thread. It's really quite thick and strong. And there's tons of it on here. Do you know why? I hate threading needles. I really do hate it. So because I knew I was going to be making these ones, and there's a couple more dotted about of different things, I knew I needed quite a bit of this morning. As well, I was sewing some buttons on to some fabric that's a journal as well. And so I've got the longest bit so that I wouldn't have to keep threading. But let's do it. Let's see where our roll is. Right, there's our first hole. So you can do it from the inside out, and then you have little towels, like some people like to leave their little bits long and put something on them. I like going from the outside in. So the hardest bit is on a fabric cover like this, is seeing where you made that hole. But once you've found it, we're just going to go through and we're going to leave a bit. I'm leaving it extra long this time because I want you to be able to see what we're doing. So now I've gone from the centre down, and yeah, you only need it really 1.5 times, 2 times at the most of the length of that, and it will do all your, it will do your sewing in your signature. And so right, I just untangled that once. I don't need it in there again. So now we've got that. So then we want to go to our top hole, which is really difficult to see on here. So if you can't see it on your fabric, because fabric's a lot harder to see it on than paper, as you can see, I'll just go around the other side, poke a hole again with my needle, and then I'll know where I've got to go through. Oh, I just said that and then I lost it. Right, so there it was. That's it. And then, so yeah, you just go in that hole. Then you just, yeah, that's it, I've got it. Go in that hole, pull, and seriously, it's much harder work with tons and tons of thread. But I only done it because I've got so many things I've got to sew, and I knew that it would just drive me to distraction having to keep threading needles. So now I don't need that tail as long as that, so I can pull it in from that bit, pull it up, then pull it taut from that bit, and then there. And so now what I want, because you've come back through the same hole with both pieces, so I want one either side of my thread, and now I just can pull gently but firmly, like don't rip it apart, and pull until it's taut, you know. So once you're there, waxed linen thread is really the best thing. I know it's thick, right, but it is so strong. And I always cover my signatures, but yeah, if you had a row, then you've already marked out your dots with your graph paper, and so then they'd all be in a row going along like that if we had a spine and thingy. So that is that. We'll sort the back out, I mean, yeah, the spine out in a minute. So we've got the same to do with our paper one, which is, well, cardstock. This one probably will be the one going in the journal. And so we want to come in from the outside. Oh. Right. Oh, sorry, I need to be on camera, don't I? Right, so I've come in at the middle. I'm going down to the bottom. Up to the top hole. And obviously I'm using a great big needle today as well, so that it's thick enough and that, so you can see it on camera. But yeah, thinner thread and thinner needles, like for this sort of book, you don't need this really strong thread. You could probably use embroidery floss or just a strong cotton, you know. You don't need it. When I'm sewing in like 5 signatures in a big book, yeah, you do, and there's a lot more pages, but you don't need it on this. But for filming purposes, it's perfect because you can see it a lot better than if I was just using a thin thread and a tiny thin needle. So you see, I've just got a bit either side, and I've tied my knots, and now I can trim that, come inside, and right, see that with that size needle, that's made quite a big hole, but that's in our envelope, so that is fine. And then now I've got this. I don't know if I've got enough to do both of them. Oh, I probably have. Right, and so all I want to do is have this as my little spine, and I think that looks gorgeous. I'm just going to take some stray cotton that I didn't want. Right, and now just with your strong glue, like your fabric glue, I think I'm only going to have it in that bit so I don't lose the sight of my trim. So let me grab my fabric scissors for a second. I'm on a straight-ish line. Oh, did you see all the sequins go everywhere? And I'm going to cut this before I put it on. And then I'm just going to get my glue right along the spine and across the thread. Put a bit on around your knot. It ain't going to come off if it's waxed anyway. It's never going to come undone, that waxed thread. But yeah, I do like to be a bit over cautious, but then I suppose that's where my anxiety and everything kicks in. You just want to make sure that it's all going to stay how you've done it. Right, that bit is driving me mad. Let's pull that off. I'll cut that off. And that bit on that side, the green bit. Right, and then I'm going to bead of glue along here, or two. Bit along there. Right, and that is a lovely sparkly spine. And right, I'm just gonna, there's little bits like the corners and that I just want to make sure are really firmly glued down. Right, that corner is, I can see I've got a bit of random thread. I can see under this bit of trim that's not glued very well, so I am going to put a bit under there while I'm here. And this corner looks like, yeah, it could do a bit of help. Let's see, that corner, it was kind of alright really, I just was being a bit overcautious. Right, so that is one done. And this one, because it ain't got all that bling and fanciness anyway, I want to go all the way. Actually, I might use this. Oh, I really like that. That might look nice. Now I'm not sure. I'm dithering. That might look quite nice. Yeah, that's something really different. I know it's stretchy and that, so I'm going to have a little bit of a game trying to get it where I want it. Right, but I really like it, so it's going to be that. Right, so I'm going to need quite a bit of glue, because it's quite a thick piece of fabric on each side. Some on my thread, it's keeping my signature together. And then a good fair old bit up and down here, right to the edges. Because I'm going to be holding a bit of elasticated fabric that's not going to want to be there, but I want it there. Right, so I'm coming off of the end a bit on, hang on, it's not far in enough, like that. I think I'm going to need more glue, that's for sure. Right, a bit more under here. Luckily with this glue, all the beacon glues are really fast grabbing glue, so you ain't got to be there half your life trying to hold something where you want it to stick. Right, this end might need some playing about with. Right. Right, come on. Right, lose that bit of thread there, and now I think we might be ready to chop this off at the ends. Oh, I love that. I'm really happy with that choice of thread, and I've still got loads of thread on my needle for all the other jobs I've got to do once I finish filming this. Right. So let's grab our folio. Right. We know that this one definitely fits because I tried it with the other one that's the exact same size. We don't know if this one fits until, right, it's the big moment. It's just the baubles that are going to be a pain. But I didn't want to risk tearing them off and putting on a different, look, it does, it fits, ta-da! I didn't want to risk tearing them off and then tearing my fabric paper, because this is only tissue, and so yeah, I thought if I do that I'll muller all the ends, and I didn't want that to happen. So I really like the envelopes in the middle, and because when I got them out, these are from my lovely Denise, hello love, and they're avocado dyed. And normally I'll stick it down and either trim a bit off the top or the ends. And I thought, no, I want them to open and shut like a proper envelope. So we know that this fits now. It just takes a little bit of coercing the baubles, getting them down first. And then once they're in, our journal fits. So that is the one that I will be using for this folio. And next time we can work on doing all the bits of ephemera and the embellishing that we want to do, and that, so that then once it's ready to go to its new home, all the ephemera and whatnot will be inside. And yeah, we might even put a couple of pockets in there because it does fit, and it might be able to take one or two. Actually, I might do that now quick. While we're here, why not? Because we are working on our journal. So, oh, that thing that I didn't use, this, that might make a nice deep pocket. Although I do really like that. I think I might have that as a tuck spot. Oh, isn't that? Oh, go away. Yeah, I'll quickly do that. So we want some glue. And you see how simple it is? And like little ones like this, I think are perfect as your little gratitude journal, where like you write down all the things you're thankful for and that, because it really is uplifting. And I was talking to a friend earlier, and I said, when I was really, really low before, like, I got onto the thing for a book I read about making a gratitude journal, and every day you've got to think of 10 things that you're grateful for. Well, when I was really down and depressed, them 10 things, I really struggled to think of 10 whole things. But then I started looking for things that I could be grateful for. And you know, like some days, like when you're sitting outside and the sun's shining and the sky's blue, that's something to be thankful for, because it's lovely and it's idyllic and it's like you feel rested and nice when the sun's out. So that would be something. I could see a butterfly or a bumblebee, and I'm with them two things, don't know how many times in my life I've seen them, because I ain't no spring chicken anymore, I still go, oh, there's a butterfly, or oh, look at the bumblebee, you know, little things like that. Oh, I saw a pretty butterfly today. Something to be grateful for, you know. And I worked and worked at doing that every day, right? And now I have got quite a few gratitude journals that I can go back and look at and remind myself when I'm not feeling so good of all them good things. Right, so there we go. We've got a tuck at the back and one at the front, and there's our little notebook journal that you can use for, like I said, a gratitude journal, or just even a fancy shopping list. Pulling that out when you're in Tesco's or Walmart or wherever it is that you go. A little fancy bookmark there. And yeah, I have 1,000,001 reasons to use journals. I suppose we all do, really. And yeah, I just think they bring real nice joy. And so yeah, thin, nice pocket front and back, just made with ribbon, isn't adding any bulk at all to our little journal. And yeah, like I said, now we're ready to start making all the bits and bobs. So I hope you found that useful. If you didn't, and you will, like, if you already know how to make a journal, I hope that you've skipped on through and are just waiting for part 4. So I will be back very soon with part 4. I'll also be back with other bits and bobs and that, just to keep up the pace, ringing the changes, and so that none of us, you or I, get bored, because we're in this lockdown at the minute and we don't know how long for. So I just want to be there as much as I can for you, because you've all been there for me and made my life really wonderful. You really have, you know, and so it's payback time for me. So I'm trying to put up as much content as possible so that no one gets bored. You've always got something to have a little laugh at or whatever, because I know I am a scatterbrains and that, and sometimes I do things the long way round, but I do want to be here for you. So thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and well, and stay wonderful, my lovelies. I love you all loads. Bye for now.